I'd like to call the order of the regular meeting of the Dickson County School Board for October 23rd. Our chair lady, Ms. Brogdon, has some unexpected travel delays, so that will leave me going through the agenda. At this time, I'd like to ask you, we all join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. Mr. Holly, the pledge.
We have William J. Wilson, we have Hannah Forrest, and Grant Howell.
Thank you, ladies. Board, you have before you a copy of the agenda for tonight's meeting. If you have any additions, corrections, or deletions, please speak up, and then we'll look for a motion to pass, please.
I'd like to,
Mr. Chadwick?
a little discussion on, policy 6.304, student discrimination, harassment, and bullying.
6.304. Is that on your agenda? Is it on? I don't see it on the agenda for tonight.
That's what I'd like to add.
You want to add it?
Oh.
You can request to add it on there.
Pardon?
You want to add it for a reading or for a discussion?
Just a short discussion.
That'd be fine. May I object? You want to vote? We're going to add that. We probably need to do it at the end of the policies after the both reads. 6.304.
Yeah.
You're going to add 5C. Is that what we're going to do?
5C, that'd be correct.
Motion to approve as amended.
Motion approved. Mr. Parker?
I'll second.
Second. Ms. Lampley? Vote, please.
One moment.
Sure.
Voting is open. Mr. Chadwick, you have an oral vote.
Yes.
All ayes.
Thank you. I'll also add, I mentioned most of y'all, the Follow Me tab won't be used tonight for the agenda. So if you have any problem finding your spot, feel free to speak up and that's somebody can give you a hand. You also have before you a copy of the minutes from previous meetings. You had a chance to review those. You have any questions? And if not, we'll look for a motion to approve those.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Parker, second by Ms. Lampley. Vote, please. Next on our agenda is public comments on actionable items that are on the agenda. Looking back, I've been told there are none. Correct, thank you. So we'll move on to communications. There's been a request for communication by Ms. Tanya Allen. Ms. Allen, remind you have 5 minutes to speak when you get started, and the floor is yours.
Excited to be here tonight because after listening to you last night or last month, I realized that you have a true heart for the children. So we come together for a unified purpose. what is in the best interest for our children. The legacy we leave lives on beyond us. What we do today affects the future of all our tomorrows. As Daisy presented to you last month in her handout, there was a packet of receipts from a grandmother whose grandson is in the band. And she has supported our means of fundraising through significant contributions because she loves and believes in these kids. Your legacy of what you pour into these children continues to pour through their lives of future generations. And I know how dedicated you all are to that very purpose, or you would not be here tonight. Mr. Chadwick began teaching at White Bluff in 1968, almost 6 decades ago. And when he poured in back then, it's coming back full circle today. Because what he poured into that young student, Misty, is now the grandma pouring out through her contributions to the receipts that you all have. He is affecting 3 generations, and that ripple will continue. And we today can change the tide in the next generations. It is obvious, according to the data that Daisy presented last month, that there is a legitimate discrepancy here, and that we need to figure out how to resolve it. So this is why we bring our concerns to you. Because members of the board, you are the experts. We are just concerned parents that see the reality of these issues firsthand. And we love our children and our community, as we know you do. So we would like the members of the board to schedule this agenda in one of your action committee meetings, and to have your attorney to look at the law and to analyze all the data and to find resolve. For we know we have a need, so now we just need to figure out how to fix it. So we're passing the ball to you, looking for a touchdown so we can help our children win in the game of life. I'm Tanya Allen, and I thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Allen.
Allen.
Next, we have recognition, staff and school recognitions. Dr. Sullivan.
Yes, sir. Vice Chair Haley, I would like to recognize Miss Sissy Byrne from Van Leer, nominated Rose, is it Bigmeyer?
Yes.
For this month's sub of the month. And so do we have Miss Hillary Hall, if you would come forward, and Miss Kimberly Ladd. Is Miss Kimberly Ladd here, Miss Hall? If you would come forward. And Miss Rose, would you come forward, please? Along with Miss Sissy, Miss Hall. We want to thank you, Miss Rose, for being a dedicated sub for the Dickson County school system. And Sissy, thank you for the nomination. Miss Ladd, thank you for being here. Thank you.
I did. Okay, thank you. Thank you, ladies. Next on the agenda, we have the student board representatives. I've asked Miss Sarah Potter from Dickson County High School if she would go first tonight. Miss Sarah?
Good evening. After our 2-week fall break, the Cougars are back in action, and it is a busy and exciting time at DCHS. I'm pleased to share several highlights from recent and upcoming happenings. For events, this Saturday, October 25th, DCHS will host a homecoming dance to begin the week-long celebration of homecoming. The theme for this year's dance is A Tale as Old as Time. We are thrilled to reintroduce this event, and we look forward to seeing students and faculty enjoy an evening of school spirit and fun. Our homecoming football game and court presentation will take place Friday, October 31st. The week leading up to the game will feature skip practices, paper ball rolling, and other spirited activities. Homecoming remains one of our most treasured traditions, and it brings both our school and community together in celebration of Cougar pride. For sports, our Lady Cougar golf team finished third overall in the state tournament, an outstanding achievement. A special congratulations goes to the 2025 state champion, Poppy Pewitt. Our cross-country team is nearing the end of its season and will compete in the TSSAA Section 5 meet on Tuesday, October 28th. We wish our runners the best as they work to qualify for the state meet. The Lady Cougar soccer team concluded a strong season as district runner-ups. All district was Hannah Brewer, Melanie Figueroa, and Leah Taylor. All tournament was Hannah Brewer, Maria Fuzzle, Molly Geis, and Sage Molina. Our volleyball team captured the title of 2025 district champions. All tournament was Blair Kerr and Dusty Mumau. Tournament MVP was Keely Webb. We are incredibly proud of their hard work and success this season. The bowling team continues to demonstrate skill and consistency, recently defeating Independence High School, with several players achieving scores in the 200s. Finally, congratulations to the DCHS band, which placed 5th overall this past weekend and advanced to the finals competition. They also head to Dyer County tomorrow for a competition. Good luck to our band. In other news, the forensic team will host its annual Glenda and Randy Sullivan Invitational on November 15th. 20 schools from across the state will attend, with students competing in 15 categories of acting, speech, and debate. In academics, students have been busy settling back into the semester. We recently held a FAFSA informational meeting for students and parents, and our underclassmen completed the PSAT. Across the hill, students, faculty, and staff are working diligently to finish this semester strong. Thank you for the opportunity again to share these updates. DCHS is proud of the accomplishments of our students, teachers, and staff, and we look forward to continued success as we move through the school year.
Thank you, Ms. Potter. Miss Anna Grace, Creekwood High School.
Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to start off by congratulating our Lady Red Hawk volleyball team for their third place finish at the state tournament this week. We couldn't be prouder of our girls. This is also our Lady Red Hawks' fourth time in a row to go to the state tournament. October has been a busy and exciting month at Creekwood. We started off strong with our homecoming week themed around game shows. Each class participated in dress-up days, skit competitions, all leading up to the parade, pep rally, and homecoming game. The week ended with the crowning of our homecoming court, where Layla Vaughn was crowned our homecoming queen and Xavier Knight was crowned our homecoming king. It was a wonderful week full of energy and school spirit, and we're proud of the effort and enthusiasm shown by our students. Looking ahead, we are preparing for our third annual harvest at the Wood Festival, presented by our JTG class. This community event will be held on October 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. at Creekwood. All proceeds will go to the local nonprofit organizations such as the Humane Society and homeless shelters. It's always a great evening filled with fun activities and community support. We hope to see everyone there. More in athletics. Our soccer program has had an exciting season, with our goalie, Heather Masajowski, being voted district MVP out of all 4 teams in our district. This week we'll also celebrate senior night as our football team takes on the Montgomery Central Indians. Academically, report cards go home tomorrow. We're continuing to focus on student growth and achievement. Seniors will be taking the ACT retake on November 4th, and to help them prepare, Creekwood will host an ACT prep day called Focus Pocus on Friday, October 31st. During this event, students will rotate through sessions focused on test-taking strategies and subject-specific skills to boost confidence and readiness. We'll also be holding parent-teacher conferences on November 3rd, and the library will host a book fair that evening for families to enjoy. The Beta Club is currently running a bedsheet fundraiser to support their upcoming service projects and convention costs, while Club International continues to encourage cultural awareness and inclusivity within our school by selling hand-woven bracelets and purses for the Pulsera project. All proceeds from this fundraiser will go back to the Pulsera Project, which benefits impoverished communities in Central America. Creekwood FFA has over a dozen first members attending an agricultural leadership conference on October 21st, and our FFA officer team is attending the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis next week. Creekwood HOSA members are diligently preparing for their upcoming regional tests in categories such as medical terminology, medical math, behavioral health, and many more. These hardworking students are striving to place regionally and advance to the State Leadership Conference in March. We wish them the best of luck as they continue to represent Creekwood to the best of their abilities. Looking ahead to next month, Creekwood is proud to host Dickson County Schools Community Care Night on November 13th from 6 to 8 p.m. This event will bring together students, families, and local organizations to highlight community resources and promote wellness across the county. Our NAMI on Campus Club will also be participating by sharing mental health resources and encouraging open conversations about emotional well-being among students. It's a great opportunity for our school to connect with our families and community partners in a meaningful way. Finally, we are excited about the progress on our new career and technical education building. Once completed, it will provide an expanded learning opportunities and hands-on experiences for our students interested in career and technical pathways. This addition will greatly enhance our programs and allow us to better prepare students for life after graduation. Overall, it has been a wonderful month of school spirit, student success, and community involvement. We're proud of our students and staff for all of their hard work and are grateful for the continued support of our board, parents, and community as we move forward to the rest of our school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber.
Thank you, Ms. Stewart. It's always nice to hear from both of y'all about the good things that go on in our high schools that we don't see every day. So thank you for letting us know. Next, under item 4B, we have finance. Ms. Underhill? We have these set up for separate votes already.
Yes.
Good, thank you.
Good afternoon. The first report you'll see is the monthly financials. Revenues are up as to compared to the end of September of last year. Expenditures are also up. Sales tax is up. Utilities are up. Diesel fuel and gasoline are both down. The following reports, you'll see the summary financial statements for all funds and the summarized balance sheets for all funds.
Any questions on the monthly financial report?
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Parker,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Lampley. Any questions? Vote, please.
All ayes.
The next, you'll see the quarterly financials for all funds, 141, 142, 143, and 177. This is for the first quarter, July through September.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Parker,
Second.
second by Mr. Chadwick. Any questions on the quarterly reports? Seeing none, call the vote, please.
All ayes.
Okay. And last, you'll see budget amendments. So these are the ones that we discussed at the planning session. These are mostly grants, so it's in and out money. And then there were some donations as well for certain items. And so it was revenue in and expenditures out. So as you'll see, there's a zero net impact to our funds. And there are amendments for 141, 142, and 177.
Would you mind sharing with us, please? Dr. Sutherland passed out a worksheet that gave us information about where the grants were concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But in some of the line items, I noticed, like, for example, 713001116.
Mm-hmm.
So for the ISM, they will reimburse us a portion of salary. So at the first year, I think it was like 100%, and the next year was 75%. And this year, most of them are 50%. And so the expenditures were already in our budget for those for the most part. And so that's why you don't see the exact number changed. So that's why I had included $250,000 in revenue for the ISM grant, but we actually received like 1.1 million carryover from the prior year, and so that's why that is. Does that make sense?
I think it would be helpful if we at least got a breakdown of how that's made up for future budgeting purposes, especially because it's difficult to just look at that and know what the extra things are for.
Yeah.
So if we could get something that gives us that breakdown of all of the items where there are amendments and it's not marked as ISM or PSSG.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Those are easy to track. It's the ones where it's not
Yes.
detailed out.
Yes.
I guess that it was hard for me to track.
Yeah, I can get you that.
Thank you.
Parker?
What's the amendment on the 177?
So that is that TVA grant that they discussed at the planning session.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Having reviewed, I need a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Parker to approve budget amendments.
Second.
Second by Ms. Lampley. Any questions on the motion?
I would just like to say it's important for me that we get that list. So I don't know. I'm going to vote in support of this, but I think that's also important that we get as soon as possible. Thank you.
Any further questions? Vote, please. Thank you, Ms. Valerie.
Thank you.
Next item, we have maintenance. Mr. Clifton.
Board members, I apologize. I did not know we would be bringing this tonight. We just got this proposal yesterday. This is the proposal we discussed at the work session at Stuart Burns Elementary, and I informed y'all about the deficiencies we have going on with HVAC up there. Do any of y'all need a copy of that, a hard copy? Y'all got them printed? All right, I brought some with me tonight if you need them. So what we're asking for is an approval. They've got some issues with about 12 air handlers up there. MRG, which is the equipment rep for that Dickson equipment. They've come up, looked at it. They have given us a piggyback price to correct those issues. It's the least invasive repair we can have on them. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot longer, and they're going to have to take a lot more ceilings and stuff out of the building. I think we talked about that at Burns. So what we bring before you tonight is approval for that, and that would have to be contingent upon approval by the county commission as well, because it would come from a budget amendment.
It's going to be fund balance money.
Correct. Board members, before you make a motion on that or whatever, I'll draw your attention to the last page under general terms. I think it's bullet number 7. I think that's a general term they put on there, and they write that form up. It's a 90-day warranty. That is incorrect. I don't mind sharing with you. Questioned them, and this is a short email. They couldn't reprint the whole packet today, but it would be updated if y'all approve it and county commission approves it. It would be updated before Dr. Sutherland would sign it to show that it will have a 10-year warranty on parts and 1 year on labor, which is standard. Ms. Thiel, would you like a copy of that?
Oh, yes, I would. I was just looking at the contract. Thank you.
This is for Burns Middle.
Yes, ma'am. The same one we discussed the night when we were at Stuart Burns up there, and I explained that to you.
So on that, if I may ask a
Yes, ma'am. Go
question, because this is our newest school, and I know
It
we
is.
talked about that, and at this point, it's not like you can go say, well, hey, why wasn't this caught? But I guess it just raises a concern for me as we continue to do HVAC work and looking at new construction, how can we prevent this in the future so that we're not having this type of expenditure for a
Correct.
brand new school or new HVAC system
I
that
think
we're
I can-
installing?
I think I can answer that for you. So again, MRG is the equipment rep. They made the proposal, piggyback proposal. I pulled in the design engineer to discuss how we missed it. Number one, it's designed, the contractors to take those designs and go out there and put that equipment exactly where it says. So the line sets are the wrong length. So nobody fell behind them to check it. But we have had that conversation with our MEP engineer, and moving forward, that will be an item that's checked. We're doing one of those jobs right now at Centennial, and I've expressed to them I will not sign off on it until there is proof that those BCs are set where they're supposed to and we got proper line links. So that's something we're looking at already presently. So that'll be in our program moving forward.
Mr. Parker?
So when you say there's air handling problem, can you explain that? Like, what is the actual problem in the school?
So those are very complicated systems, and I'll explain it to you. I'll give you my version of it, okay?
That's the one I want.
All right, so the evaporator's on the roof. From there, its line sets running down to a location where there's a branch controller setting. And then from the branch controller, it goes out and feeds multiple air units in the building. If that branch controller is not set at the proper location, and it's pipe lengths and pipe diameters, all that changes if they move it 30 foot closer to the evaporator. Then I got more line set going out to the condenser in the unit, in the room.
What's the result? The air conditioner not working right?
Yeah, it's burning up compressors is what it's doing because the oil's not returning to the compressor.
Okay.
So,
Y'all know we've had several issues with that breaking down. You've all had those calls. It's honestly a problem. I would ask you to also consider before you make a motion that while it's got to be contingent on the county commission approval of the funds, also consider that it would probably need to be contingent on Mr. Hall reviewing the final contract with the changes of the warranty and other things.
there'll be a lot of piggyback issues that he'll have to go through to make sure it's all correct. And I would like to recognize that Ms. Pryor and her staff have been champs dealing with this issue up there too.
Any more discussion?
It's definitely going to be moved from fund balance, right?
It would have to be approval by the county commission in the motion for that.
Motion to approve and contingent on Mr. Hall reviewing the contract.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Parker, second by Ms. Lampley. Any question on the motion? Seeing none, call a vote, please. Thank you, Mr. Clifton.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Next, we have Ms. Hall for Human Resources.
Good evening. And so you have the monthly reports for our exit report for this current month. You have the graph with the report from the previous month. And if you will notice, we had no retirements on this particular month. Has our resignations, leaves of absence, and our hires, transfers, assignments, and reassignments. Are there any questions on those items?
Have any questions? Thank you, Ms. Hall. Nick.
Thank you.
Dr. Johnson for the SLP short-term contract. I apologize, Ms. Hall. I thought you were speaking on that too. That's why I said next. So you're ready to go anyway, but I appreciate that. Sorry.
We have, thank you. In front of you, you have a copy of a client assignment confirmation or a contract with a company that we actually already work with. We do have an extended leave of absence coming up with one of our speech and language pathologists. And this has been a hard to fill position all year long for us. We have one of our full-time positions that we've left unfilled this year. We've spread out certain caseloads. So our current SLPs are also picking up additional students to serve. And then we are also working with two other contracted SLPs. I just want to reassure the board that I am exhausting my efforts in reaching out to retired speech and language pathologists, folks that we've interviewed previously. I maintain a list if I interview someone, and I've gone back as far as 3 and 4 years to interview candidates or to call on candidates to see if maybe they're still in the area and would like to come and work with us and for us. There are just at this time fewer candidates also coming out of colleges and universities. So this is a hard to fill position. I am requesting approval on this contract. I anticipate that it will be a 9-week leave of absence. And you can see the details of that contract here. Do you have any questions?
Good deal.
This is, I guess, more budget related versus contract, but in looking at your budget, we've got in the amended budget,
Yes.
there's $8,000 approximately more than what was budgeted. Does that 8,000 include this?
It does not.
It does not include this. So, in fact, what we would have to do is have another amendment
That's correct. That
for
is correct.
this. Just
That is correct. Yes.
Anybody else?
so, what's the? I don't have my calculator. I could pull out my phone, but roughly, what are you anticipating the total cost of this would be?
This would be around $20,000. It would be for this length of time.
Okay, so as far as what Dr. Sutherland or Valerie or Dr. Johnson, what are your thoughts on how would we take this 20 from fund balance, or are you anticipating other things that might change in other departments that might reduce?
What I would look at, Ms. Thiel, is in our budget, if, in one of our line items, if we could potentially spend less than projected, and
Right.
that's where I would request the amendments to come from. I mean, we
Those
can't
things are hard
anticipate.
to predict
They are hard to
until
predict.
we see
Right.
at the end of the year. But
Because
we would start there.
well, because for example, your original budget for speech in line item 171 was 868,000. But then in this amendment that we've just approved, we've lowered that to 795,000. So I'm just struggling with why have we just asked for it to be lowered when in fact now I'm turning around and saying I'm going to need to add another 20,000 to this.
We currently have a position at one of the elementary schools that has a contracted person in it, but I have located an employee who is willing to come on, but she will not be able to come on until the beginning of February. So we have offered an intent to hire. So that should help us out. And this is, in my opinion, is going to be a fluid situation because they're hard to find candidates. And I cannot anticipate if someone's going to take a leave of absence. They try to inform me ahead of time, but it was sometimes those medical concerns come up and we can't foresee those.
Right.
I don't want to be unprepared. And that's why I appreciate already having contracts with certain companies, especially when I know these positions are so hard to fill. But even with the contracting companies, we're competing with medical agencies, local hospitals. They also use SLPs. And then we're also competing with these with the other contracting agencies. They're having just as much of a hard time finding candidates as we are. And our dilemma, if you will, and really IDEA does not give us the wiggle room to not serve students.
Right.
So we have to. And these are hard decisions to make. But when I look at the students who need these services, I say, well, no, they're not hard decisions to make. We've got to do it. But I understand we've also got to be fiscally responsible. So that's where I'm looking at other areas in our budget. If we can, consider some of the purchases we were anticipating, then we'll do that.
Ms. Neal, before you speak on that, could I ask Ms. Underhill, she has something from the budget standpoint to add to this also, and then we'll pick up from there. Thank you.
So what we decreased from that line item was where we moved into contracted services already, because she already has one contracted position that's intended to be for the whole year. And so we moved it from the salary line item down into the contracted service. But Dr. Johnson did also budget extra in the federal grant for contracted services because she has so many this year. But we'll probably have to do the same like later on throughout the year. See how much it is. See how much the first $2,000
Okay. So mine is not a question about the need to serve our students. I guess it is more the timing of when we've approved the budget. We've approved this amended budget that's going to go to the county commission and then coming and with this. So it's more the way the agenda was lined up where we did the budget first and then we had this contract. So I guess, Valerie, what I hear you saying is at a later time, not within the next 3 months, but at some point in the future, we will come back and based on what happens in this, make adjustments in this budget. Is that correct? Or are you talking about just in that department or in our?
So it would just go for approval from you all.
Well, but then this is my question. If she doesn't have it in her budget because of various things that might happen, then that's going to have to either come from fund balance or from savings in other areas. And so when will we look at that next so that we're sending amendments to the county commission? Will that be in 3 months? Will that be in 6 months? When will that be?
We're looking at our budget monthly. So we're just evaluating on a monthly basis. But as far as the amendment goes, as long as it's within her account,
Right.
you all. But as long as there's money in that federal line item, then we can.
So the question I hear her asking, and I think you hit on, is there a set point that we send amendments to the county commission? And I think I've seen us do it twice a year, normally midpoint, end of year. There's always one at the end of June for the shoring up or adjusting the final budget. But will there be one before that?
So that's your.
And that's asked of us by the mayor, that process.
But it won't be that next month when we come, we're going to be sending something else to the county commission. That's what I wanted to know when that would be. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Underhill, too. Any more discussion? Yes, sir.
So how many SLPs do we have? Is this we only got one?
No. There are actually two at this school. This would be I don't want to identify the school because of the leave of absence that could identify the staff member. But no, I mean we have 17 SLPs across the district.
And I hear from you that have a high need of it, but is there not, if there's 17 and there's more than one school with more than one of them, so is there not one that can be moved around? Or
I'm already doing that.
Okay.
We have 2 part-time and they're already working full-time for us right now to cover services for positions that we can't
part-time
fill.
because they're like retired and
They have chosen that and it's worked for us in the past.
I guess my next question would be for Mr. Hall. Have you been able to look over this contract?
Yes, we've negotiated this contract, and so this is the process which we use to add additional people to the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Is through this form.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to move forward with this contract.
Motion by Ms. Till to move forward with the contract presented for the SLP. Second by Mr. Chadwick. Is that correct? Any more question on the motion? Vote, please. Are you able to access? Okay.
Mr. Parker.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking. I see it.
Right.
Miss
Take your time. I'll
Miss
make sure
Bill
you have
makes it
access.
before I was dealing with all my questions.
Oh, I apologize. I thought you.
It's okay.
Yeah, I apologize too. I thought you were through.
All eyes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Next item is transportation surplus additions. Ms. Garden, please come to the microphone if you would, please. Thank you. I have to. You have to.
We give a special needs bus to the police department about 4 to 5 years ago. The board at that time did approve it to be donated to the police department. Now they don't use it. They never touched it. They never put it in anybody else's name. So it's still a title to Dickson County Schools. It's got 265,000 miles on it. It's already been surplus because we couldn't use it. We would like to surplus it in our sale on November the 1st. So it would just be adding that bus to that sale.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Parker, second by Ms. Lampley. Are there any questions on the motion or the action at hand? I will make the comment that I asked Ms. Garton earlier, was it titled to us at this point? And she did say when we donated before as a board action that she signed the title, but they never actually registered or took ownership. So it would still be registered to the school system. This action will allow us to go ahead and dispose of it at that point. Mr. Hall, you have anything in addition to that?
No, that was my advice to Ms. Gordon. Since the board had previously given it away, we've got to take it officially back and then surplus it again.
Any more questions on the motion? Call the vote, please.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Garden. Next, we have student services field trips.
Yes, Dickson County High School will be going to their beta convention at the Opryland Hotel November the 20th through the 22nd. William James will be going to the Smoky Mountain Championship for cheer. Creekwood High School cheerleading competition in Sevierville, December the 5th through the 7th. Dickson County Wrestling Tournament at Houston High in Memphis, Tennessee, December the 5th and the 6th. Dickson County perform at the Music in the Park at Dollywood. The 5th, May 5th, they're getting ahead of this, May 8th through the 10th. And then in December, Dickson County High School is going to Sevierville Convention Center. Cheerleaders, December the 5th through the 6th. And Dickson County High School traveling to Gulf Shores for a tournament, softball. And that is in the spring. And that's it.
Discussion?
What I looked at, it looked like everything was covered with their correct
Yes.
everything. So I'll make a motion to approve all out of state and overnight field trips.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Parker, second by Ms. Thiel to approve the field trips. Any question or discussion on the motion? Vote, please.
All ayes.
Thank you. Next item we have on the agenda is policies on second read.
Good evening, Board. Are there any policies on second read that you would like to discuss individually, vote on individually?
Mr. Chairman, if it pleases the chair, I make a motion to approve all as they stand on the second read at one time.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Parker, a second by Ms. Steele to approve on second read policy 1.407, 1.700, 3.202, 3.206, 6.205, 6.206, 6.600. So any discussion or question on the motion? Seeing none, call the vote, please.
All ayes.
Thank you.
Under first read, the first policy, 3.204, 4.601, reporting student progress. There have been no changes since the planning session, but as a reminder, the law that changed that resulted in this policy needing to be changed just states that when we send report cards home, we will report students' progress on the universal screener that is given 3 times a year. We were already sending universal screener results home when we got those results. So now parents are getting them twice, when we get the results and then again at report card time. But that's the change to the policy.
Any discussion?
Motion to approve. 3.204 on the first read.
Motion to approve 3.2.
No, 4.601.
I said it wrong.
You said it wrong. Okay.
Sorry.
I was reading this, but I read it wrong. Okay, go for it. Motion to approve 4.601 on the first read.
I'll second.
We have a motion to approve 4.601 by Mr. Parker, a second by Ms. Lampley. This was for the single policy first read of 4.601. Any questions? Call the vote, please.
All ayes.
Now 3.204. No changes since the planning session, but again, as a reminder, the primary changes that were in the law and from the legislative session that are now reflected in this updated policy are that the school district will make a phone call to families anytime there's a credible threat of mass violence that takes place at a school. In addition to that, we will provide the board quarterly updates on how often that's occurring. Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Steele?
Under reporting is my question, and you all may have discussed this at the planning session. The 48 hours, I'm assuming, is state law. With social media,
Yes.
things travel much quicker than 48 hours now. Was there any discussion about changing the number of hours?
I can't speak to whether there was any discussion. I do know that the reason it sometimes takes up to 48 hours is that it takes time to deem whether it's a credible threat or not. And so the threat may happen at 1 o'clock in the afternoon one day, And the threat assessment team at that school goes through a process on determining whether it's a credible threat or not. So if they don't know by the time that school is out if it's a credible threat, we would not make a phone call home until the next day when they are able to determine that it was a credible threat or not.
Can we get a definition of what
Credible.
is credible?
Mr. Holly?
Be the exact vocabulary, but normally if there's multiple students that are shook by a kid's statement, like there's people worried that this kid could do something in particular, whatever that might be, that leads you to another phase of the assessment. And at this point, there's 3 or 4 pages of an assessment. I'm trying to be careful, Mr. Hall, as to what I say. There are 3 or 4 pages of an assessment. It's got multiple questions. And they go through that whole procedure. You know, on some, it might not take but 5 or 6 questions. You realize this isn't a credible threat. But if they say certain buzzwords along with this assessment, then you take it to another level. And at that point, you're starting to build the case as if it's a credible threat.
We have a specific process that we follow. What you mainly hear out on social media is false information. But we have to make sure that we treat all of these cases and the children fairly. And so that's why we want to make sure that we do this right.
And we follow a format that's given to us. This is not anything that we come up with. The state gives us the format that we follow, the questions that come with it, all the buzzwords that you're looking for. So I got to be very careful to what I'm saying.
Is the question, the process is when you say they, are we talking about
The school administration.
The school
And the
administration.
assessment team.
Thank you.
Any more discussion?
Make a motion to approve 3.204 on the first read.
Motion to approve 3.204 by Mr. Parker on first read. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Lampley. Any further discussion or question on the motion? Seeing none, call for the vote, please. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, that's what I was going to look up. That's why I swapped it. I went to look it up, and I'm like, well, I spent my whole rest of the breakdown. So glad we're ready to do it.
I have a question for you, Lucas, also.
Yes, sir.
The next, Mr. Chavez asked to speak on policy 6.304. Is that up for review or being worked on anytime? You have it scheduled before we get
It is one of the policies that TSBA flagged in July that we need to discuss. And so I'll let Mr. Chadwick know before the meeting that it will be in the next month or two. There's changes, but it's not something that I have ready to discuss tonight.
All right, thank you. The agenda we approved was for item 5C for request of Mr. Chadwick at 6.304. I will ask before we get started, Mr. Chadwick, I didn't know what this policy was. I'll look back whenever I see what it is. It does have the intent, or it could easily be a sensitive situation. If we're speaking about the policy in general, the policy itself, then we'll open up for discussion. But if it is a specific situation or name in a school, I would ask that we would refrain from that just because of the nature of the policy. For that, I will give you the floor.
My question is, when there is a threat for the student, bodily harm, okay, the person doing the threatening, in this case, their parents were called. Okay, the person, the parent of the a student that received the threat, they were never called. Why do we not call them to let them know of a threat that was made toward their child?
I don't want to misspeak, but I believe it's our practice that we typically do call. Is that correct, Mr. Arnold? They should have been called. Yes, sir.
If we're talking, we can't be talking about a specific situation here, board members, so let's just be careful about that. But our policy is what I hear you saying, Mr. Dr. Winstead, is that we call both sets of parents.
Yes, sir.
The threat, the parent of the children who made the threat, and the parents of the child who received the threat.
Yes, sir.
That's our policy.
And I don't know that it's explicitly stated in policy, but that's our practice.
That's our practice.
Yeah.
But for it's up for review, it might be time to address that also then. And
Yes.
we'll discuss that at a work session. Is that the question on that?
I looked up the policy. I could not find anything in there about that. So when we do cover this,
So,
we need to be sure that
well,
we put something
So
in there.
thank you. Ms. Chavez, thank you. Thank you.
There was just a concern that came to me. Student receiving a threat were never called.
Thank you very much. Ms. Steele?
Since Mr. Chadwick had brought this up, I wasn't clear that Lucas said that we were going to do this at our next meet.
He said upcoming, not necessarily next. So
Okay, could we make it that it's at our next
next regular work session,
yeah,
I think that'd be appropriate. I expect.
just since Mr.
What I
Chadwick
gathered
has
would be
brought it
fine.
up, that it's at our work session that we look at this.
Absolutely. Next item, director's report. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a busy week. I went to Rockville to watch our Creekwood volleyball girls play volleyball. It was impressive to watch these girls play as a unit, and they walked away with the win. Today, they scored third place, and we are so proud of them for their accomplishments. So congratulations to our Creekwood volleyball girls team. Tonight, we have Miss Karen from the Post. I met with Miss Karen because she's going to be instrumental in helping me as a director to get our story in the Post. And so she will be working with certain directors to place stories and happenings across what great things are happening in our schools so that the public can see that. We always share at on the radio things that are happening in each of our departments, but we're tickled to have Miss Karen with us. And so thank you, Miss Karen, for being here and meeting this week with me to talk about what can be our next steps to get out our story. So thank you. I met this week with the Women's Educators Association Delta Kappa Gamma, and I will be speaking with this organization Monday afternoon to again talk about what is happening in the Dickson County school system. And so I'm excited to be working with this organization. And as someone had stated tonight, we're really pushing ACT, some really great things. You heard how Creekwood is really looking at ACT and helping students with strategies. You're going to find that our secondary teachers will be able to hear a guest speaker Monday around how to help students really look at this test and take this test, because it is strategies, best strategies for test taking. And so we hope that our juniors do very well, and anyone that wants to take a retest so that you can up your score for the colleges. November the 3rd, as you alluded to, Anna Grace, will be parent-teacher conferences. And I'm looking forward to Monday because our instructional team has put together a great in-service plan for our schools. And our principals were really a part of that plan for the teachers at their schools as well. So thank you for the administrative team and the director setting here. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Sutherland. Next, we have comments by DCEA.
And I want to add, we did meet with DCEA this afternoon, and we had a great conversation with Ben Rosa. Yep.
I usually have my notes on paper, but my printer at home was on the fritz. So good evening, everybody. We hope that all teachers and families had a very rejuvenating fall break. And as we head into the second quarter, we want to make everyone aware of many scholastic activities across the county in the next 3 weeks. Board members, we've shared these events in a calendar with you in your emails, so you don't have to try to jot them down as I go over them. Thank you, ladies, for sharing the events at the high schools. We won't repeat your information. At Burns Middle School, they recently flew drones. They flew drones this week, and Burns Middle is having their fall dance this Friday. Charlotte Middle School, their student council will be handing out candy at Scare on the Square on Sunday, October 26th. Charlotte Middle is also hosting their annual Veterans Day Assembly on November 11th at 2 p.m. Dickson Middle School has their Dragon Night on Friday, starting at 5:30 with a chili cook-off, a costume contest, a book fair, and a movie. The DMS Fall Play, Once Upon a Mattress Junior, will run from November 13th through the 16th. Centennial Elementary is hosting its second annual Trunk or Treat next Thursday night. Dickson Elementary is having, their fifth grade science fair on the half day, October 31st, and they need judges. If any of the board or central office staff are interested in serving as judges, please let Miss Carrie Joyce know at the end, or I guess soon. It says at the end of the meeting. I assume she would be the one to know. You can let me know at the end of the meeting, and I will forward that to Miss Carrie Joyce. Dickson Elementary is also hosting a book fair November 3rd through the 7th. Van Leer Elementary is hosting a book fest, BOO in capitals for like boo, a book fest next Thursday night with their annual Trunk or Treat. Their RSVP headcount is already higher than normal, so we are excited about that turnout. And this is all the good news that we have for the month, and we encourage everyone to get out and check out the great events that are going on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have comments by board members. I'm going to start with Ms. Lampley tonight, please.
Well, thank you for the updates on middle schools and elementaries. That was very nice. And Sarah and Anna Grace, I really appreciate. It's hard to keep up with all the things going on, and it's really nice once a month to just get this update. So I appreciate y'all.
Ms. Teal,
Nothing from me. Thank you.
Mr. Chadwick.
Thank you guys for bringing us. Been in both institutions, and I know there's a lot of good things.
Parker,
I ain't got nothing.
are you serious? I appreciate all of you showing courtesy and grace to me tonight. And I will never give Ms. Brogdon a hard time again. Whenever you're having to confirm your vote and try to keep it somewhat in order, she does a good job of that. But I appreciate y'all doing that tonight. No further comments. We are adjourned.